The fearless approach. Chapter 6. Lead from the front. When I reached the top in business, I adjusted to my new position. I became bolder and crazier than before, and I listened even less to people who tried to slow me down. 50 Cent. There's a pattern that repeats itself through history. Someone rises up because they've got talent, skills, or hustle. Maybe they master the game of influence. Maybe they launch a bold move that hits. But the moment they land in a leadership role, something changes. Suddenly they're at the top. Eyes on them. Pressure mounts. They stop being bold and start playing it safe. They second guess. They overthink. They delegate decisions they should own. Or worse, they overcompensate, micromanaging everything in fear. That's how soldiers become shaky generals. How entrepreneurs turn into weak CEOs. How game changers become just another name on the list. But then, there are the few who do the opposite. They don't shrink. They rise. Like Napoleon, Churchill, or 50 Cent. They don't flinch at pressure. They welcome it. They don't pass off the hard choices. They take the lead. Because real leadership isn't about talk. It's not about titles or status. It's about energy, tone, presence. The leader sets the frequency. If they're weak, so is the team. If they're hesitant, so is everyone else. But when the leader is fearless, aggressive, and focused, that confidence spreads. It's contagious. In war, they call it leading from the front. The best generals don't give orders from behind a desk. They're out there with the troops, facing danger head on. That presence, that courage, it multiplies the army's strength without firing a single shot. The same principle holds in business, in life, in the streets. If you lead by example, working harder than anyone, making bold moves, owning the outcome, people feel that. They respect it. They fall in line. But in places like Southside Queens, you don't start with respect. No one cares about your background. You earn it, move by move, and you better show up real, because the second they sense you're soft or fake, they'll come for your spot. That's why 50 learned early. Respect is action, not talk, not looks, not hype. What you do defines who you are. In a world full of image, authenticity hits like a sledgehammer, and when you lead from the front, with blood, sweat, and fire, people remember. They follow. Now listen close. The ones who try too hard to be loved as leaders, they lose power. They can't push people. They can't enforce discipline. Because when they finally get tough, it feels fake, and people resist. But when your reputation is built on results, when you've earned that respect through fire, then you can ease off, and every kind gesture hits harder. Every compliment, every reward, every smile, it lands with weight because people know it's real. John Ford, the legendary film director, mastered this. He wasn't trying to be liked. He set insane standards. He led from the front. He slept in tents on rough shoots, got into fistfights with his own actors, and never once let comfort soften him. And his crew, they loved him for it. Not because he was nice, but because he was real, and he made them better. Bottom line, leaders aren't born. They're built in pressure, in fire, in risk. And the ones who stand the test of time, they never back down. They lead from the front, and they stay fearless.